so much. Y quiero expresar también mi respeto hacia Japón, hacia todo el equipo japonés que está aquí, hacia el equipo de Naoya y hacia todas las personas que han venido aquí a apoyar. Pero esta noche, este sábado, no va a ser la noche samurái, va a ser la noche azteca y vamos a ganar.
Confiado, la verdad es que creo que Inoue, como cualquier ser humano, comete errores. Él es humano, muchos dicen que es un monstruo, para mí lo sigo viendo como una persona común como yo, y él también comete errores. Eso me hace sentirme muy seguro y sé que voy a ganar.
Most fighters step into the ring against Naoya Inoue already beaten. They see the power. They see the knockouts. They hear the stories about broken bones, and fear takes over before the first bell rings. But sometimes, a fighter comes along who refuses to follow that script. David Picasso hasn't just agreed to fight the pound-for-pound king. He has sent a calm but dangerous warning that has the boxing world asking one big question: is the monster finally beatable?
Alan Picasso says the belts are going back to Mexico. What happens when the monster meets Picasso in Riyadh?
アラン・ピカソさんはこのベルトは、メキシコに戻ると言っています。モンスターがこのアラン、ピカソと戦うということはどのようなことでしょうか？
まあそうですね。まずこのベルトがメキシコに、帰るということは 100% ありません。ピカソと戦うということは、まあこのスーパーパンタム級で戦っていく、上で、一つ必要な、防衛戦であると、認識しているので、土曜日に戦います。
Picasso isn't using loud trash talk to promote the fight. There are no arguments, no shouting, and no fake drama. Instead, in a recent interview, he spoke calmly and confidently about Inoue. His words felt precise and calculated. He didn't sound hopeful. He sounded certain. Picasso says he has found the human side behind the legend. He believes he has a secret plan, what he calls a 100-year strategy that will shock the world on December 27. The first part of his plan isn't physical. It's mental. Picasso believes you can't beat a legend if you treat him like one. In his interview with Ring magazine, he refused to even use the nickname Monster. To Picasso, that nickname gives Inoue power before the fight even starts. He stripped away the belts, the hype, and the fear, calling Inoue what he truly is, a human being who can make mistakes. Picasso explained that most fighters train just to survive. He trained to study the mistakes everyone else ignores because they're too scared to look. He says he feels calm, happy, and ready. This isn't nervous confidence. It's the confidence of someone who believes he has solved the puzzle. In Picasso's mind, seeing Inoue as unbeatable is exactly why others lose. By treating him like a normal man, he believes he has already won the mental battle.
As a fight, when you see him making them mistakes, do you take confidence from that?
¿Cómo te sientes tú un poquito más con más confianza cuando has visto que Noah ha cometido errores en las peleas anteriores contra adversarios? ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo te hace sentir eso?
Pues confiado, la verdad es que creo que Inoue, como cualquier ser humano, comete errores. Él es humano, muchos dicen que es un monstruo, para mí lo sigo viendo como una persona común como yo, y él también comete errores. Eso me hace sentirme muy seguro y sé que voy a ganar.
When you've seen him fight so much this year, fighting 4 times in a year, do you think that you're catching him at the right time?
Cuando has visto que él ha peleado tanto, 4 veces al año, ¿crees que es el momento ahora mismo, es el momento adecuado para pelear contra él?
Cualquier momento hubiera sido adecuado. Llevo mucho tiempo esperando esta pelea, así que para mí no importa todo eso, importa verlo en el ring y pelear contra él y ganar.
But confidence alone won't save you from a knockout. What makes Picasso's warning different is the strange but powerful logic behind it. When asked what separates him from everyone else Inoue has beaten, Picasso didn't talk about speed or power. He talked about 100 years of work. He explained that when he steps into the ring, he isn't alone. He brings his own 18 years of experience, his father's 18 years, his mother's 18 years, and decades of knowledge from his trainer. In his mind, that's over a century of boxing wisdom, discipline, and strategy aimed at one opponent.
What do you think makes you different from anyone Inoue's faced before?
¿Cómo crees tú que eres tú diferente a cualquier adversario que se ha enfrentado Inoue anteriormente? ¿Qué marca la diferencia entre tú y el resto?
Creo que todo el trabajo que hemos hecho son 18 años de mi vida, más 18 de mi papá, más 18 de mi madre, más 18 de mi entrenador. Es una carrera de más de 100 años de trabajo. Creo
It's an interesting way to see the fight one man backed by a lifetime of combined experience versus a single elite talent. Picasso believes the shared knowledge has created a strategy so strong that even Inoue won't be able to break it. This leads to the weakness Picasso is focused on. We go back to Inoue's fight against Luis Neri in Tokyo. For one brief moment in the first round, the world froze. Inoue was knocked down. Even though he recovered and destroyed Neri afterward, that moment proved something important. The monster can be hurt. Experts notice that Inoue sometimes opens his guard wide when he attacks with full power. He trusts his offense to protect him. Picasso's plan is built around this habit. He isn't planning to run. He's planning to time those openings. His team believes that when Inoue gets aggressive, he becomes vulnerable. The goal isn't to overpower him, but to catch him in the middle of his attack, just like Neri did, but with a better plan to finish the job.
Luis Neri was able to knock down Naoya Inoue in the very first round. Very first round. Now, this all happened when Naoya Inoue went in for an uppercut and left himself unguarded. Now imagine if somebody else with just as much power, if not more power than Neri, would have hit him. Because that day, whether we like to admit it or not, I am a Naoya Inoue fan. But that day, we know that if Luis Neri would have landed a harder punch, if he would have been a bit stronger, that could have been lights out for Naoya Inoue. And a monster as we know it could have been over off of that one simple mistake. So, coming up in this next fight against the young 24-year-old Alan Picasso in Las Vegas, Nevada, oh yes, it's Naoya Inoue's homecoming back to, well, not homecoming, but coming back to the United States of America and giving the United States people a show, right? The young man he is strong, maybe not as strong as Neri, but he is fast, if not just faster than Neri. So if he can implement that and figure out how to get in there when Naoya Inoue has got his right hand down when he's throwing the left hook or the left uppercut, it could be a wrap. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But this is Jay's point of view, right? This is my point of view. He cannot continue to do this. He has gotten away doing this against a lot of opponents. But that day, we saw what happened. And yes, granted, the man did come back and he won that fight in crazy fashion. He knocked down Neri a couple times.
Style-wise, this fight could be more dangerous than people expect. Picasso isn't a still target. He uses what's called educated volume. He throws many punches, but with control and accuracy. History shows that Inoue doesn't like fighters who force him to reset over and over again. Constant pressure and smart combinations could make this a very uncomfortable night for the champion.
Picasso, is that a tune-up for him? Should he handle that with...
Picasso, I feel like Inoue is going to do what he needs to do. Inoue is a great fighter, and no knock on Picasso. I just don't think that he's just on Inoue's level. Anything could happen. We've seen Inoue down with what we would say lesser opponents, because I don't think that people expected Inoue to go down against Cardenas, and he did. So Picasso might have a chance. As always, a puncher always has a chance. So something could happen, but at the end of the day, I think through and through, Inoue is the better fighter.
Inoue, is he getting dropped in part because of the chances? Is this something he's capable of avoiding? Like we saw against MJ, he dialed it down. He was a little more patient, and so is he getting dropped because that's Inoue? Like that's just a flaw of who he is, or is it something he's allowing to happen a little bit lately?
I can't say he's allowing it to happen. I think it's a bit of both, because he even, to be honest, he was like that even when he fought Donaire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is not something that's just new that's happening. It's always been there. He's just been able to get away with it because of his offense and his sharpness. A lot of guys might pull back on certain punches that might get him down. So yeah, I think it's a bit of it is just about who he is. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, he dialed it down with the MJ fight, and he's learning from his mistakes.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.
Now, if you watch the build up to his fight, you will see Naoya Inoue's dad talks about he's going to be patient in this fight and break this guy down, but not rush into anything. And then when Inoue speaks specifically about this fight, he said he wants to show his strength during this fight. So yes, he's going to box, but him saying he wants to show his strength means he's coming to show his power. He's coming to hurt David Picasso. And I think with David Picasso being a taller fighter, I think that's going to leave his chin exposed in this fight. And I think he will eventually get caught by Naoya Inoue in this fight. But I do think it's going to take time for Naoya Inoue to find that distance and get in on David Picasso, because he is going to take the first couple of rounds. Yes, he's going to apply pressure, but it's going to be smart pressure. Sometimes in fights, he does get reckless early on, but I think since he's been dropped in recent fights, he is going to respect David Picasso's power, even though he only has a 53% knockout ratio. I think Naoya Inoue is still going to be reserved early on, look to apply pressure, look to figure him out, and then start breaking him down to the body. And I think Naoya Inoue ends this fight in the middle rounds. I think he's going to end it in round 6 or 7. I think it's going to be a knockout. I think he's going to just break the body down. And in between combinations that David Picasso is throwing, I think Naoya Inoue is going to catch him right on the button, right on that chin. So I think if there's a knockdown prop for this fight, I like the over 0.5 knockdowns. I haven't seen that yet on my book, but I'm sure the odds for that may be ridiculous. So I would say look at the odds of that first, but Naoya Inoue for sure on the money line. You will want to add that to a parlay because those money line odds are insane. And then we also have Naoya Inoue by KO. And then if we're looking for specific rounds, I'm going to be looking anywhere from the rounds of 6 to 8, but I think he gets him out of there in round 6 or 7. So